We back. Let's be real. It's episode 203. How are y'all doing?
Man, what is good, everybody? This is feels good to be back. That's all I got to say.
Happy spring. Somebody at the Sports Center update. The update is it's now spring, but watch out.
There you go.
It might still be the winter though.
Man, it just feel good to like watch mediocrity for like 3 years and then just see your team do great in like one summer. And I can't wait to talk about it. But it's been a blessing.
It got to translate to the field, but we'll talk about it.
I will.
Oh, I hear some hateration between the two of y'all. I can't wait to see this.
In between the two, it's just one of us hating.
I'm not hating. I'm just saying it got to translate to the field. That's all I'm saying.
I know exactly what Trevor said. I've seen plenty of offseason winners that don't do well. So to his point, to your point, yeah. But we get to it when we get there. But of course, as y'all know, man, it's guys, me, P Shark, Sheedy, Trev, and Tev. Yeah, like be getting tongue twisted on that one. But yeah, us four. Skylar is out today. But hey, we're back rolling. Like I said, bi-weekly with LBR. But I will be trying to implement YouTube shorts. I'm gonna try every day. I don't know if I'm gonna see with that, but at least every other day I'm trying to get some YouTube shorts for my show. So we're gonna consistently spit out content and even some clips from my Started Five podcast with the Grizzly for Grizzly Bear Blues and Bluffs in the Media. I add some other clips over there as well. So we're gonna still have content up and rolling. Keep following us to keep chugging along. We still here. We ain't going nowhere. And of course, always follow us on Twitter and TikTok, especially at LBR_media. So those are the main two platforms. Well, TikTok's the main platform we post on. You follow our personal Twitter stuff. Follow
before it gets banned. Let's
exactly.
Before it gets banned.
Right. We're gonna get as much as we can get before it's on.
Before I get banned, it's crazy because like I actually watched some of that, and some of the senators that y'all voted for are some of the dumbest, oldest people ever. I just have to get that out there. I'm sorry, bro. Save TikTok, bro. TikTok ain't did nothing wrong.
I mean, it was the White Herschel Walker, wasn't it?
And then Twitter is getting rid of verification. And Twitter getting rid of none of us. I got declined by 5 times, so I don't care. But the people who got verified before the payments, they are getting ripped of their verification, so they're going to have to pay now. So salute to Elon Musk for that. I got declined, so good riddance. Without further ado, let's get it started. Let's be real.
Hold on, Cap. Hold on, man. I just gotta say, fellas, it gives me chills watching that video. And remember, we was out at University of Memphis taking photos for like hours. But man, I really enjoy those videos. If y'all only knew the work that we've been putting in for it's years now, man. Y'all need to start saluting us. I'm sorry, I had to brag.
Stephen A, you throwing it out there? Holler at us. We saw the tweet. Holler at us.
Yep. And speaking of the video, Memphis Tigers was heavy in that video, and we were on the University of Memphis campus taking those photos. So that's who we talking about first. Season review. Of course, as y'all know, if you've been sleeping on the rock, NCAA tournament's going on, still going on. They're entering the Elite Eight tonight, and Memphis Tigers are not participating because they lost to a team that is in the Elite Eight. They beat both Memphis and Tennessee, and we get to that in a second as well. But Memphis did lose to FAU, Florida Atlantic University, for those who know. For those who don't, never heard of FAU. They are known, and they're making themselves known in this tournament as seeing them in the Elite Eight tonight. But it did beat Memphis in the first round after effectively in the Tiger season at 26-9. A couple of notes I'm just going to bring up about the Tiger season before we give our grades and our just review of the season. They finished the season 26-9. They finished second in the AAC in the regular season. They won the AAC tournament, beating Houston in the championship after losing to them twice in the regular season, and effectively ended Houston's AAC run because they're going to the Big 12 next year. They also were consistent. In my opinion, they were consistent throughout the season. I started writing for them this year, and just seeing, compared to Penny's first 4 years, beginning to end, this was the most consistent effort from the team. Just like they didn't really have that bad of a droughts throughout the season. They were on the bubble consistently throughout the season, but there was more of a conference thing more than the Tigers actually themselves. They only had one bad loss, and that was to Tulane at home and double overtime, I think. So that was their worst loss of the season. And all other losses compared to the quad rankings they were like undefeated against all the bad teams. Like I said, sad into the season, but overall fair to the end of the season. And while I'm here, I'm gonna go to the women's basketball. Season ended 22-11, first 20-win season since 2011. First time they made a tournament. They made the NIT, the women's NIT, since 2015. And they finished second in AAC as well in the regular season. And they lost in the AAC semifinals in the AAC tournament to the eventual champion, East Carolina, who were picked last to win it, who were picked last in AAC to start the season. So just like the Tigers, both of them kind of exceeded their expectations. They did win 2 games in the tournament. I was fortunate to go to their last win when they beat Ball State here at the Fieldhouse. So the packed crowd, sold out crowd, both of their home NIT games. But their season also, sour note, getting blown out at it was a Bowling Green. Then, of course, Star Guard, and then this final game, Jamara shoots, punches the girl, and one more, everything else is going for them. And the coach just announced that she's leaving, going to Cincinnati, who she played for. That's our dream team. So, so salute to Coach Katrina Merriweather. But the women did do well this season as well. So, I guess lump in both of them. What are your thoughts, reviews of the season for both the men's and women? So, and give a grade as well.
I mean, I know the Tigers, the men didn't really cash in by winning the whole thing for a national championship, but you got to give them, for some reason, an A to what Sharky just mentioned. This Tigers team for most of the season has been very consistent, which is pretty much all that you can ask for from a basketball team. Their only bad loss was to a double overtime game at home to Tulane. They pretty much showed that they can compete with practically anybody in the country. Just look at their games against Houston. They have the conference championship to show, and you could even look at the first round tournament game against FAU. Like, it literally went down to the last possession. Like, if one little miss happened, we're probably talking about Memphis in the Elite Eight right now, as opposed to FAU. But this is probably the best team that Penny has had, honestly. He had more savvy veterans than incoming freshmen this go around. So we'll see what Penny does going forward. I'm pretty sure he's going to be hitting the transfer portal. Of course, you got Mikey Williams eventually coming in as well. So we'll see what the Tigers look like come next year. As far as the women is concerned, Katrina Merriweather did an outstanding job to even bring the Tiger women back to relevancy. With the run that they had this season, especially in the AAC tournament and in the NIT for that matter. It's unfortunate that the Tigers didn't bring that home, and it is unfortunate that Merriweather is moving on to Cincinnati. Of course, that was her school. Cincinnati, along with Houston, is going to the Big 12, so it's a bigger stage for her. So I definitely understand that. Kudos to her for all that she done in her time in Memphis. I would give their grade actually a B. Just to kind of leave some, because there is some room for improvement, and we'll see where things are going to turn up for the women as well come next season once a head coach is put in place.
For me, I'll start with the ladies. Ladies first. Coach Merriweather and what she did with these girls. I'm gonna give it an A- because I'm looking at what she's done for her tenure. So she is leaving. I know you said about just this year, but just to your point, Trevor, like really bringing relevancy back to both women's and men's basketball was huge in her first year, and then seeing what she was able to do this year. Of course, like I said, there is room for improvement and growth, but I'm looking at the overall totality. I would probably agree with you about this year's grade, though. But overall, for her, I would give them an A-. For the gentleman, I'll say B+. Yes, I know I'm using pluses and minuses. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know already, I'm an educator and a teacher, so I believe in that. B+ because, yes, it's not, did we get all these freshmen in, to your point, Trevor, as well? Savvy older men as well, because DeAndre Williams, ain't no junior or senior at 25, 26, however old that man is. But him, Alo, who's about 32, along with the freshman that you have as well, and what you're getting from the transfer portal, was outstanding. Your Kendrick Davis play away from making this maybe even a higher seed, first and foremost, and then possibly get a further run than they did. I would have given this team an A had we made the Sweet 16. I think that one thing that I would just continue to work on is, one, they didn't turn the ball over like they used to. The following and previous years, that was like a thing. I mean, free throws are a Memphis curse, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know that by now, it's for all Memphis teams. I'm not sure about the hustle cap, but my assumption is that everyone's pretty short on free throws in Memphis in the 901 area. However, going back to the men's team, there were a few times when I watched the games where I thought Penny could have made just a better move for his team and put them in better positions to win the game. I'm not taking anything away from Penny. I'm not taking away anything from those young men because, again, it was a better season than it was last season. NIT championship is cool, but you don't celebrate NIT championships. You celebrate Sweet 16s and better. And so we're one step away from getting there, so I'll give it a B+. But next year, transfer portal is already opening up. There are a lot of names out there, a lot of good, talented guards that are like, hey, I'm out of this program. Penny, if you're listening, I know you are already on the phone. That's one thing you do very, very well is recruit well. And also shout out to you for standing up for Ja Morant as well. When Ja was going through what he was going through, it's like Memphis is one. And that's what I really love to see and hear about. So again, B+ for the gentlemen, A- for the girls.
Yeah, throughout this whole thing, it really felt like it's been Memphis, literally Memphis versus everybody with this Ja thing. So shout out to Penny and everybody to support the East again with Penny. With the women's basketball, everything y'all said spot on. I just hate that we brought in Coach Merriweather, amid controversy. And she's leaving a controversy, you know what I'm saying, with Melissa Farron back in the day. She's only been here, next year to be only 2 years, that Coach Merriweather's been here. So, of course, I would have liked for her to stay longer because we all, on this podcast felt that the women's basketball team should be headed by a Black woman. I'm just keeping real and straight up. I think she may have been the first Black women's coach in history. And in her, 1.8 years of coaching this team, you see a drastic difference. So of course losing her is gonna hurt, but if you got your dream job, on the line, I can't hate her. You know what I'm saying? All we can do is wish her the best and support from afar. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing who they bring in as the next women's coach. As far as the grade, of course, I give it an A- for sure. She talked about the turnovers, which was a big issue even when we was in school for the women Tigers basketball team. So for them to cut that out, we were able to see them progress. And I think that hopefully it's not too much of a step back because most times when you do have a new coach coming into programs, there is a step back. Hopefully it's not too much of a step back in the first season. But I think that, hopefully we can continue to ride the momentum of what this women's basketball team just did. I think will be good for the future. We just got to, keep our hands to ourselves, but that's neither here or there. As far as the guys basketball team, like I said, I think this is definitely easily one of the better teams that Penny's had. Especially, with dealing with the egos. Most of the teams, a couple of the teams in the past have been ego driven. I want the ball, let me do my thing. But you can see that the roles were clearly defined to an extent on this team. Even if it was, hey, Kendrick, get the ball to Kendrick, get the hell out the way. Let them go. And I think that, a lot of players didn't have a problem with that, which is a great thing to go into the future with. So like I said, the transfer portal's opening. We're going to be losing. Hopefully, we won't be having 6-7 year seniors on the team next year. But if we do, it is what it is. But we're going to have positions open up. We're going to need new leaders coming in because, like I said, Penny's been with ALO for 8-9 years and, even going with East. DeAndre Williams, 25, 26 years old. He understands the culture that Memphis was trying to build. So, losing that, I think is going to hurt a little bit. But at the same time, we are able to get a few more older players. And I think Penny's seen the light, is saying, okay, I can get these older gentlemen to come in and play Memphis basketball. So I think that's going to be a hit combined with the younger players. Like one of my favorite players I've been looking forward to seeing for the last 2 years. 26 again. Yeah, he's 26, bro. Mikey Williams
Nah,
is a player.
Nah, he's
being
joking.
sarcastic.
Yeah, he's being
kinda
sarcastic there because
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
was talking about it every time Memphis was on TV. That's all you
Mhm.
heard was that DeAndre Williams is 26. Like, bro, we know. Chill. Find something else to talk about.
I mean, we still got people like Stephen A. who feel like Elvis posters are all around Memphis. So that lets you know how much they care about Memphis content and sports in general. So that's neither here nor there. But like, yeah, Michael Williams coming back to the city, coming to the city. I think that's going to be a big spark, and I'm excited to see them play. I would give this season an A for the simple fact that one, we were able to see Penny coach better. For two, we were able to, regardless of how people feel, beat a number one team, which is what we are yet to do. We've yet to be the top 10 team, to my understanding. I think we maybe done it once, with Penny. So, for us to do that, I gotta, we were able to beat them, in the AEC championship, get into the to big dance. I think it's a step in the right direction. So I'm gonna have to go ahead.
Yeah, I think that was the first time ever they beat the number one ranked team, if I'm not mistaken. Either that or it's been like a long time. But I think it was because I think they played Arkansas back in '94 and they lost. They're like double digits to that one. And I think that was another time they played, because when they played Tennessee in that 1-2 game, Memphis was one. So
And we lost.
Yep. So I don't think they beat a number one team. So that was the first time. So they definitely did a lot of things. But going back to the Memphis women, I give them A- for this season. They would finish 5th in the ASC and they finished 2nd. I mean, they weren't expecting to make the NIT. I mean, they went 16-12 here first year. So you did expect them to take somewhat of a step forward, or at least the same. And I mean, talent wise, you still kind of really had Melissa McFerrin's players for the most part still. So for us still just work that magic and help them to truly get better and like enhance the talents that she already had on the team was really good. She was a really solid coach. And you just say, ESPN get on my nerves because it's why do I get a notification saying that she resigns and make controversy? Like what? And like the decision was made before that. I'm like, for one, the controversy was her player punched somebody in line. That ain't got nothing to do with it.
That has nothing to do with Coach Mary was.
That has nothing to do with her. Like, she can't control it for one. Two, she just straight up resigned. She took another job. What? Like, so it's just ESPN trying to still paint Memphis versus everybody, paint a bad picture. Now the women are lumped into this along with the men and the Grizzlies. It's just a whole ordeal. Like, they're just trying to make Memphis to be just this bad program, man. Don't let me get started with comments and stuff. I ignore comments. I try to tell my wife to leave comments on social media. Just, hey, why you
don't comment to the trolls?
What they say.
Right, like just leave it alone, y'all. Like, stop it. But yeah, and Memphis fans themselves that made comments when Penny was struggling himself, so we didn't get there. So hey, that's how fans are on social media, right? But yeah, give me an A-. They did well. They won 2 tournament games for the first time since 2009 in the women's basketball invitational that year, and won 2 tournament games in the women's NIT for the first time since 1998. So I mean, she did a lot of things that women's program haven't seen in a long time. So I had no choice but to give her at least an A-. As for the men's team, I give them a solid B+. The sour ending still leaves a taste, and I understand the whole officiating and all of that, but I'm sorry, that turnover right before that bad defense at the last possession, getting out rebounded by a short team. Tennessee did the same exact thing. Like, y'all let team. I guess they had that 1-7 footer, but everybody else 6'4" and under. Like, they got the shortest team in the NCAA, and you got rebounded by them. And I know Memphis wasn't.
No, that was FDU that had the shortest team in the.
FDU. Freddie Dickinson.
Yeah, because their tallest player was like 6'4", and they was out rebounding Zach Edey in Purdue. So yeah, but your point still stands with FAU because they still won.
They still won the shortest
tournament. Yeah,
right. So yeah, you got to find a way, but. Like I said, no matter how sour it was, the consistency throughout the season, basically seeing the team really just come together and play well, it definitely looks for a bright future. And being in Blessed Media, we see a lot of, like I said, I knew about Katrina Merriweather leaving before it even made news. You see a lot of stuff inside this Discord channel, but like recruiting wise, Penny is working. Just know all these transfers, people that hit the portal, he's working.
Just be patient, Tiger Nation. They working.
No, don't even, you know they're not. But
Yeah, exactly.
every year,
Nations and
every
Tiger
year,
Nation, two things that don't belong in the same sentence together. We know that, dog. Come on.
every year the
You can
same
really say
thing.
that about everybody if you really want to keep it a
Yeah, it's really everybody. But yeah, bro, that folks every year, boy. But yeah, he's already working, and they got 7 freshmen coming in. He already know he wants to have a mix of freshmen and upperclassmen. He has upperclassmen can't come back. KO is obviously out. He declared for the draft. Whatever. He's probably not coming back. Period. Whether he stays or not. The Lawsons are returning. Chandler Lawson and Jonathan Lawson. There
Jonathan
was
Lawson,
a question
yeah,
mark about them potentially not returning. So they officially announced they're returning. He's still waiting on a decision from Keontae Kennedy, which I would love to have him back. You need a veteran. He was a solid shooter. He really the second half of the season really did well before the injury. And Malco could potentially come back, and Jaden Hardaway. I would assume Jaden, his brother is coming in. Ashton, he's one of the freshmen. I would assume he wanted to play with his brother 1 year, but
at least
we'll see.
1 year. He got at least one.
I mean, he only got 1 year
Yeah,
left.
that
so
would make sense. Yeah, that would make
Yeah.
sense. If you got the opportunity, why not? But we'll see.
Right. And Malco, we'll see. And they just probably more of a penny decision, but we'll see how that goes. Ryan said how many losses are there. This is it, right? Jonathan's the last one. I was telling my wife that I was playing the losses of the brothers. Yep. Had all 4 of them in Memphis, and all 4 of them, things happen, but they're back in the good graces of the program. But shout out to Memphis. Shout out to Memphis basketball program in general. They are definitely looking ahead for a bright future. Hopefully, the women's basketball team can get a solid coach come in to take over Katrina Merriweather. And like Tuke said, I understand. You played at Cincinnati. That was your dream job. Like, yeah. Like, could expect you not to leave for that. It's just yeah. But moving forward from the Tigers to the teams or the NCAA tournament in totality, period. NCAA tournament surprises. Yeah, disappointments even, but surprising disappointments go the same one because the surprises are those top seeds losing to lower seeds. So, what are some of your tournament surprises in this tournament so far?
Oh man. I think more so of it's kind of a totality thing, but the basketball guys' reward and effort has kind of been the theme here for the NCAA tournament, which has contributed to some of these upsets. With FDU upsetting Purdue again, that was just done, but just FDU just outworking Purdue. There was like nothing else that they could have done. They literally just outworked Purdue for 40 minutes, and it paid off for them in the end. You can say the same thing with Princeton with their upset and a few others. But yeah, so some of these upsets are disappointing because some of these teams that are highly ranked just did not come to play, and it's even shown now because now we don't have any number 1 seeds left in the tournament as of last night. After last night, so yeah, so the basketball guys rewarding teams for giving effort for 40 minutes. I think me and Sharky just sitting here laughing at Vol Nation because we both were like, it's only a matter of time before Tennessee loses. Like we knew it was coming. So so I think Vol Nation getting hyped up after beating Duke, I was like, when Zakai went out, I was like, it's only a matter of time because you need a point guard in the tournament. Yeah, you beat Duke. You caught Duke at a pretty decent time. You were able to out-physical them, but this is not finna be sustainable. So that was another thing for me as well. And Kansas State slowly but surely becoming the darlings of the tournament because Noel, that performance he put on in that game against Michigan State, I believe it was 20 points, 19 assists, if I'm not mistaken. Like you can't ask for a better game than that. And it shows that great point guard play can get you far in the NCAA tournament. So just as a whole, man, the basketball guys rewarding effort in this tournament. That's kind of what's been kind of the surprise for me.
And before she to go, a couple of comments. Ryan said no number 1 seeds and only 1 2 seed left. I think it's the
Shout
first
out
time
to that
ever.
number 2 seed.
I already know you. I know you're gonna talk about Texas. We'll get there.
Oh, it is
Only-
Texas. It sure is. Okay.
I mean, this is a good segue for him to go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, hey,
but-
right there.
Right.
So it is surprising for me because one, I hadn't seen Texas make this kind of run in forever. So I'm like, okay, I'm really excited. For two, and we're doing it on an interim head coach. If you like the coach, I honestly forgot his name already. But he was
Chris
fired
Beard.
Yeah. He was fired like early this season, and like right around December, we end up getting a black coach who I hadn't seen a black coach on the Texas sidelines maybe ever. For me, this for me, basketball is for me. So it's exciting for me to see. It is kind of shocking, but at the same time, let's keep the momentum going. But the stat that I just saw about the Brandon Miller averaging under 10 points a game, and he's supposed to be a top 5 pick, that's surprising to me. Like, this is your time to shine. This is supposed to be everybody's time to shine. And if you're supposed to be a lottery pick, damn it, you need to show it. If you're supposed to be a top 5 pick, it should be obvious at this point. And for you, like I said, not to be averaging 10 points and to take an L last night, I was kind of shocked to see that. But, you know, it is what it is. This is March Madness. Apparently, any given Sunday is happening any given day in this bracket. So this is literally March Madness. I'm just happy my Longhorns made it this far. Other than that, I probably wouldn't be watching it because they got whatever team from Florida that's whooping everybody's ass too. Shout out to them. Like, I know exactly what to. I don't know, but shout out to them.
Yeah. Anyway, so the
Man.
current interim coach right now for Texas, his name is Rodney Terry.
Rodney Terry, yes, sir.
The last black coach that was at Texas was Shaka Smart. You gotta remember Shaka Smart was there at one point.
At one point, for like a day or two.
You just being honest.
There a couple years.
Bro was there for a semester, and then
Did the transfer portal?
Yep. He's doing his thing in Marquette though, even though he's still losing early.
They got put out as 2 seed.
Yeah.
And real quick, Fat Boy Fadeaway said Princeton beat in Arizona, and Holy Noel, he's talking about Kansas State player. So.
Yeah. Man, that was a great segue for what I was going to say. Shout out to Princeton. You're talking about a 15 seed that went all the way to the Sweet 16, I believe, won 2 games. And so realistically, shout out to them and shout out to the Princeton offense that they don't really necessarily run, but it's like a namesake thing for all college basketball and high school basketball as well. I want to be like you, Cap. I want to watch my ums. Okay. Disappointing for me. Me being a Big Ten guy, 8 Big Ten teams, in the top 64. Only 1 made it to the Sweet 16. Only 1. Michigan State. That's it. Northwestern, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Maryland, all these teams that proceeded to look good during the regular season for the Big Ten fizzled out. So I want to be sure I call that out. And it also goes to show, to your point about the kid from Alabama, top talent, you have one spotlight to really shine, on any given 40 minutes. And you have to put forth your best effort every single time. You don't know who's watching. You don't know your draft stock. You don't know anything. And I think that's what makes it very special about what we did on Starting 5 with our 16 teams that we created, because you don't know who and what can happen in a 1-game series, so to speak. You don't know who can be in foul trouble. You don't know how the refs are going to call the game, so to speak. There's a lot to be said. But again, I want to give, a very big good kudos to Princeton. I mean, I know they're gone now. But again, just disappointment from the Big Ten is just like, that's what we put in the tournament. I mean, you already know Izzo's going to do what he has to do to get his boys where they need to go. They ran to a Kansas State team that was just a little bit better than them for sure. But the rest of you call it the mid-10, I'm cool with that. Just disgusting. Purdue was the first big domino to really fall. And after that, it just was terrible for the Big Ten.
Yep, and shout out to the Zags. That game, that shot against UCLA. I need a Gonzaga UCLA game every tournament. Every tournament. It's always a
year.
classic.
Yep.
Adam Morrison crying when they blew their game back in 2006, 2 years ago. My guy from Jalen, what's my guy name?
Jalen Suggs hitting the game winner.
Jalen Suggs in the half court game winner.
Yep.
Like I need then that shot, the same thing as my guy from Villanova did in that championship a couple years ago. Hey, I need it. Give me that every year. Every year. My guy, the fellas present sports rap. CN, what it do? I said Big Ten folded.
Good.
Hey, now on the Big Ten folded, SEC folded. I don't think no SEC team remains. So we all folded
no
around
SEC teams left.
SEC
I don't think there's any AAC teams left. So
sheesh. Goodness, Texas, we riding with y'all. But yeah, this is a crazy tournament. It's always crazy, but it gets even crazier every year. You have 15 seed. Remember last year, St. Peter's, the Peacocks made it to the Elite 8 as a Sweet 16 team. I mean, as a 15 seeded team. This year, 15 seed to Princeton makes it to the Sweet 16 of the year. FAU, number 9 seed, but from the Conference USA, over here winning and getting to the Elite 8, beating Memphis and Tennessee on the way there. And who they beat between? Fair Dixon. So they did get better drop, but they did beat a team that beat Purdue. So Purdue couldn't beat the same team. So you gotta give them their credit. Then Purdue themselves just losing to Fair Dixon was, I mean, I remember at one point in time we thought we would never see a one lose to the 16. Then we finally saw it. Then you
really seen 2 in the last 5 years.
Right. Now you see it again. Now I'm kind of expecting a Sweet 16. I was kind of expecting, I ain't gonna say every year, but you know, probably every decade, once a decade or so, I'm probably going to be expecting a 16 seed upset at 1 seed these days. So, especially with the whole transfer portal thing, I think it's like 700 players in the portal right now. Like, it's basically free agency in college basketball.
Yeah, you don't know who's going where. All it takes is one game. That's it.
Right. So, crazy tournament. Took, you my guy. So, I want you long who wants to pull it off. Not gonna say it's gonna be easy, but y'all got a chance. All number 1 seeds are out. So
anything possible, bro.
Hey man, K State is the darlings right now. So I'm rolling K State at this point.
And well, is it because the Big Ten player is too slow? I just think it's, I don't know. They're just getting caught slipping.
I don't think they played too slow. I just I don't know, man. The Big Ten can be really good at some sports and really bad at other sports, I presume. But even I think when the spotlight is shining on the Big Ten, we just continue to crumble. College football, and now you're seeing it now in the NCAA tournament as well. It's like we're like a step away, and we don't really necessarily have those big names as well. It's like really more of a team sport, so to speak, in the Big Ten. And then you run into that 1 or 2 teams that have that special talent. I just saw someone say special talent. Someone use that word.
Yep.
That just over exceeds what a good team is doing. And that's just what happens. Because again, it's 40 minutes. You don't know if that kid can go off for 40 points, even though you have a great team. That one game, it's done with. And so I think that's really realistically what it is. I think the teams are good. They're playing at a good pace, but you just never know who you're going to see for those 40 minutes and how they're going to play.
Yeah. Yep. And to finish out the segment, guess me and Trevor got to give our thoughts about Tennessee. I did say I want Tennessee to make the Sweet 16, right? And they did it. And they somehow did without our best player, it's the guy Ziegler. So shout out to him for that. It's still salty that we did lose to a lower seeded team again, FAU. But they did accomplish what I said I just wanted them to do. And they had made the Sweet 16 in like 3-4 years. So kudos to Tennessee. Next year, get off Mr. Rick Barnes, please. Because I hate watching him play. Golly.
I'm still mad at Rick Barnes because everybody knows that FAU is a great 3-point shooting team. When Rick Barnes told the Vols to go into a 2-3 zone, I get it. FAU was struggling from 3 and they were missing open looks. Sharkey even tweeted himself. He's like, at this point, Tennessee keep playing around. They're gonna mess around and find out. When I saw Rick Barnes go into that zone, that's exactly when that run started for FAU. And I was like, I'm done.
Yep. So I knew the game was over. I knew it was over at halftime. We was only about 5, and they kept leaving them open for 3. I was like, they're gonna start making them.
Them threes gonna start falling.
Once they take the lead,
give them open looks.
Our offense ain't good enough to come back once they take the lead.
Yep.
So I knew it was over with. But yep. Shout out to you, team.
Crazy shot with Rick Barnes. It's like he been coaching 38 years, but only made the Final Four.
He's been coaching 35 years, has only made one Final Four.
Yep. We know what to expect every year. And shout out to Memphis and Tennessee for running a chance for a Sweet 16 against each other.
In Madison Square Garden at that. Look,
it was right there.
Right is literally right.
That was it. Yeah, that was
shout
it.
Out Tennessee held up day in. Got a dog in Memphis. But hey, we moving forward. Before we move on, what did it do? Mike Patton said in 2 days. What did it do, fellas?
Was good.
Talking about the NFC East shirt though. Torn the NFC East shirt though.
NFC. Oh nah, sorry. NFC South only for him. But moving forward to the NFL, get down to the football field. NFL free agency. You know, all our teams. I'm a Titans fan, Trevor Steelers fan, Sheedy is a Cowboys fan, and Took is a Panthers fan. We stick to our teams. We're gonna give our grades. Cause 32 teams on one podcast, we ain't about to do all that.
Couldn't do it.
We'll give our grades for free agency so far for our teams for the offseason so far. So what are your grades about for what your teams have done so far this offseason?
All right, so if we're going strictly free agency and not the whole offseason as a whole, if we're going to talk
the whole, I guess the whole,
do the whole.
We'll go to okay.
What happened before free agency? I guess coaching changes, you including.
And then of course we got the draft that's coming in like this.
I feel like I feel like we should include from the last time our teams played to right now. Like
from the last time teams played to right now. Okay, that's fine. All right. Well, in that case, I gotta give the Steelers an A, because this is from the last time they played the game up until now. They went out and addressed their needs on the offensive line. Signed some pretty good offensive linemen in free agency. Getting Pat Pete was probably the most I guess the highlight of free agency for the Steelers, because despite not being good in the secondary, the Steelers did lead the league in takeaways last season. Mika Fitzpatrick led the league individually in interceptions last season. So you added another ball hawk in Patrick Peterson to their fray just means it's going to be more takeaways for the Steelers. I don't know if they'll probably be tops again, but you can probably expect them to be near the top, at least top 10 at the very least. It was tough seeing Cam Sutton go, but I knew that was going to happen. We're going to be able to pay him the money that he was requesting. Devin Bush, I thank you for your time. You haven't been the same since you came back from your ACL injury, so hope you can stay productive in Seattle at some point. So we did lose a couple of our linebackers as well, and I think we did address that need as well in free agency. So for the time being, I'm going to say an A, but I'm reserving everything for the whole offseason until the draft, because I really feel that for the Steelers to really be moving in the right direction, they have to have a really good draft this year. So, but for right now, it's an A. They addressed all their needs, and things may be on the up and up.
Sorry, quickly. I'm sorry. Didn't y'all sign like some offensive linemen though too? Like,
yeah. I mentioned it in the beginning that we did sign a few offensive linemen, so they're now dubbing it the picket fence. But I need to see it on the field. Yeah, that's just how. Yeah, they still got Matt Canada, which pains me, Ryan. But at least Kenny Pickett is buying in. That's the only thing. I just hope Matt Canada doesn't ruin everything with this, because the team is solid. Now I just need the play calling to be there. Now
you can still give him an A for that.
No, I'm still going to give him
because
an A.
There's 3 A's in Canada, so I would see why. You give him an A. I got you.
All right, well, yeah, that's me. I'll go for an A, at least for right now. Again, I'm stressing enough. It's from the last time the Steelers played in that game against the Browns up until now. I'm going to A. That can definitely change with the draft and as we head forward in the training camp.
I was going to give the spotlight to two, but I guess we can save the best for last.
No.
Okay.
Don't nobody care about that doggone star anyway. Y'all ain't done a damn thing. But for my team, we've done everything. And I'm such an elated Carolina Panthers fan. We're gonna start off giving my grade an A+. I honestly believe this is the best offseason we've had as a franchise. Especially when we bring in new pieces in. No, even though Skylar's not here, I'm not going to use the word rebuild, because when you rebuild, you got a certain way that you carry yourself. You bring in certain players, you bring in certain people, and you just kind of ride the wave. Nah, this ain't what happened this offseason. So we end up, for those don't know, we end up hiring Frank Reich. Shout out to the guy see him, because shout out to the Detroit Lions, because we got a lot of y'all players, but it is what it is. I like y'all like us. It is what it is. So again, we end up hiring Frank Reich from the Colts. Traded the Bears for the number 1 pick. Even though we got rid of my guy DJ Moore, we actually ended up getting DJ Shark yesterday. So we still got a DJ connection as well. All depends on. We not high on Will Levis. No, anybody high on Will Levis is high on that premium octane gas that they got.
Ain't no on that snowfall.
Huh?
They have on that snowfall.
They have on that snowfall. They have on that white girl. They have on something. They ain't Will Levis who? No, the smoke screen, smoke and mirrors. So we end up signing Miles Sanders from Savages Eagles, which was huge for me. Didn't expect that at all. We end up signing one of my favorite receivers in the game, Adam Thielen. Hayden Hurst, we end up upgrading at the tight end position, because I think we're probably one of the worst spots at tight ends. So for us to get Hayden Hurst, it helps out a lot. Carl's been doing some solid work. Thank you, man. A backup quarterback, Andy Dalton, safety Von Bell. So again, we're gonna talk about that one. We're gonna end up putting Jeremy Chin, in the inside outside, going in that 3-4 defense after hiring, our defensive coordinator. We ended up re-signing Bradley Bozeman, which was huge, because he didn't start last season, but once he did come into the center position, our offensive line took a whole another step. I said we was going to have a top 10 offensive lineman. Damn it, we won 10 last year. So we re-signing him was honestly my number 1 priority. So we did that to a really team-friendly contract. We buddy contract with him. And we end up, getting Shy Tuttle, which adds to our depth. So a lot of solid pieces. We still got to have a great signing. We can, like I said, we can put him at safety. I think we like actually having Jeremy Chin in the inside linebacker as well. So that's going to help out a lot. It's all depending on who we pick as the number 1 pick. A lot of people going, Bryce Young, which I honestly don't have a problem with. But if you ask me, I've been on the CJ train for a minute, even though I would like the kid from Alabama. I'll forget his name. Will Anderson. Even though I would love for Will Anderson to come in and be the Luke Kuechly of our defense, I'm still kind of on that train. I know we need a quarterback. I'm not dumb. CJ Stroud is our guy. And we get him, it'll be A+, off season for my Carolina Panthers. But we literally done everything for us to compete, not take a step back, not try to, contend for a 3rd seed or whatever the hell we've been doing with Matt Rule, whatever that was. I just want us to delete that Matt Rule era of the Carolina Panthers out of all of our heads. So hopefully that can be done. We step in the right direction. And I know for sure we're for sure gonna make the playoffs at least. Like I said, we just got to make sure we pick the right quarterback that ain't Will Levis. Don't think too hard and go Anthony Richardson. No, CJ is right in front of us. Let's go and get our guy. Let's make the playoffs.
Yeah, CJ. It's either CJ or Bryce. Let's just keep it real.
Yeah. And I'm cool with either one for sure.
All right, to the NFC East, I guess.
The damn star nobody want to talk about.
Well, I mean, we do get more TV time even in Carolina than the Panthers. And so let's go ahead and discuss the Cowboys themselves. I would definitely say the best thing that happened for the Cowboys this offseason thus far is Dan Quinn saying he's coming back. As a defensive coordinator, what he's been able to do for us these past 2 seasons, I'm thinking even back when 3 seasons, realistically now, when, excuse me, I'm trying to watch my ums. When Dak was out, this team did well. We re-signed Cooper Rush as well, with doing well on the defensive side to give Cooper Rush that opportunity to play decent football and to win those games that he did. Is it tough that we're losing Ezekiel Elliott? Yeah, it is what it is, but he's been gone from us from a while, and he has not been the same thing. So we franchise tag Tony Pollard. which was huge for us. We said, I think on the show or somewhere, it was around 10 million a season. I think you and I talked about that, Trevor, and I was okay with that number because Tony Pollard is healthy. You know, that might be a different story against San Francisco as well. But not talking about what could have happened. We're talking about what is. I will also thank God that Tyron restructured his contract as an offensive lineman. He caused us way too many penalties. I'm done with that, but you know, he's still with us, and I'll keep that. Of course, on the offensive side, we lost Kellen Moore as an offensive coordinator, and I don't know if that's going to be good or bad. I haven't thus seen what it can do. However, getting Brandon was huge for us as a wide receiver. I think we're missing something else to complement a healthy CeeDee Lamb. We didn't have those pieces all season, realistically. You know, Michael Gallup was in and out of the lineup. We didn't get T.Y. Hilton to the end of the season. And so let's see what it's like when we have two more healthier receivers. Noah Brown's gone. I think he went to go sign with the Texans for whoever wants to pay him that money to be a slot receiver. And so we do lose our tight end. Dalton Schultz will be gone, and that's okay as well. But losing Zeke, again, I think that's like our first building block of like, okay, let's move on, move forward from that. Of course, I would be remiss if I don't mention Stephon Gilmore. We got two players that can do very well for us for 5th-round picks, and I think that's awesome as well. And to think about what we needed on that other side of Diggs, we need a corner. I'm not talking about a shutdown corner. Stephon Gilmore is past his prime in that regard, but he still makes some noise that he needs to for us. And so to me, I'll give this grade a B. The reason why I'm giving it a B is because the offensive coordinator that we did hire for Kellen Moore, which is Brian Schottenheimer, his resume is very, very ugly to me because he's been on a lot of different teams. They haven't really been that good. We've had him since last year. Actually, he was our Cowboys analyst, so to speak, last year. So he should be able to plug and play and know what works out best for us. But, you know, he was part of the Jets team that didn't really score points. A part of other teams that didn't really put up a lot of points. And so I'm kind of nervous to see where this goes. So that's why I'm giving him the B. However, thank God that Dan Quinn is back. We're getting our safeties back as well and healthy. That's also another key. And unfortunately, but fortunately, we did also and will resign Leighton Van Esch to another 2-year deal with that broke neck of his. But I'll leave it at a B, and I believe we will continue to contend not only for the NFC East, but definitely be in the playoffs next season as well.
And before I go, CN, the Fellas Present Sports Rap had a couple of questions. So for the Cowboys, he said it's Bijan Robinson from Texas, the running back, an option for Dallas. Do you think Dallas is looking at him in the first round of the draft?
I would love it because we still do need like more of a, even though Bijan is more of speed actually, but a little bit more of power than I think Tony Pollard is more of a finesse running back, so to speak. And so I would love it, but I don't want us to move up for him. If that makes any sense, we can get someone else for a lower deal, but I would love him. Whoever Bijan goes to, whoever drafts him is going to be a gem. And so wherever he goes is going to be great. If he's with Dallas, yes. But again, we can't move anywhere to move up for that one. I don't want to do that.
He's going to be in y'all division for sure.
What do you think? You think you're going to go to the Eagles? I see that too. Yeah. Because they got the 10th pick. So I don't think he should be going anything further than 14. If he's past 14, then yes, of course you snap him.
Somebody said Cowboys gonna sign Jesus. Damn.
What happened? Who?
Jesus himself. Jesus Dwayne.
Well, you know, some people talk about being in the playoffs, some people don't. So it's what it is.
Also, he had a question. In round 2, who are the Panthers looking at? Is there a wide receiver that intrigues you? Man, you had sent us some in the group meet earlier this week.
Oh,
yeah. So, that's kind of why I asked. So I appreciate you asking that question. So I found that we're definitely looking at Zay Flowers, was it Jalen Hyde, Jahmyr Gibbs from Alabama, who's a running back, which I don't think we need, and Josh Downs in North Carolina. There are a lot of rumors heating up with Josh Downs, trying to keep him in Carolina. But I did ask the fellas, and you can't go wrong with the SEC wide receiver. So if I did have a look, get that speed up with Jalen Hyde, and we good to go. If it was up to me, I go here, even though I like Zay Flowers as well.
Yeah,
I
I've heard a lot
think
of things about Zay Flowers. You go.
Yeah,
Chief.
I've heard both for both. I wouldn't be mad at Jalen. He was the best wide receiver in the nation as they voted on, and what he can learn from Adam Thielen, I think is crucial as well. Very crucial. I think that's like one of the pieces that moving forward, whoever is for you guys a wide receiver recruit, because Thielen will be there for as long as he can be. But his route running, very good. His hands, very good, and what he can teach those younger wide receivers was spot on. That what he can do for you all as a franchise.
And we're in a position to literally take the best available, which is kind of weird to say.
Mhm.
So, but because a lot of people expecting Terrence Marshall to take the next step too, and like everything you just said with Thielen, him be able to teach Terrence Marshall, people expect him to have a great season. So even if we don't go wide receiver option, I'm cool with taking the best available player.
Yep. And DJ Chark is a really good receiver. He just needs to stay healthy.
Right.
I think that's the problem when he got to Detroit, just injuries. But if he could stay healthy, he was on his way to being a really good receiver. So definitely good options in Carolina so far. As my team, Titans, I'm gonna be a little hard on them. I'm gonna give them a C+ so far. I think the main reason, and it's so far right, I don't think they've done a bad job. C+ is pretty much average. They're right there, a little above average. I don't think they've done a bad job. They've replaced the players that they lost. We lost David Long, replaced him with Aziz Al-Shahir, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, from the 49ers. We lost Nate Davis, the guard, replacing him with Bronski, the guard from the 49ers, who our GM came from the 49ers. We got rid of Bud Dupree, replacing him with Arden Key from the Jaguars, who formerly are the 49ers. So I do like the moves you're making. Got Andre Dillard from the Eagles, replacing Taylor Warren, the left tackle. So we're basically replacing the players we lost. We're not necessarily upgrading anywhere. And a couple things they haven't done yet, like I said, to this point. I'm waiting on the extension for Big Jeff or Jeffrey Simmons. That's what we're waiting on now. We didn't get nowhere. And the wide receiver market was a little dry. I understand that one really just great wide receiver options, but we got a bunch of young receivers already, and we're probably going to get even younger in the draft. But we do need, in my opinion, we need a veteran somewhere, like a true veteran. Nick Westbrook-Keeney ain't it. Like, you need an actual veteran receiver, but they probably looks like they're going to just go the whole youth route of wide receiver, and I guess making a decision on what they exactly going to do with Tannehill going to Nick. Like, I'm fine. You're going to keep him, but you got to do something with their contract, like, in my opinion. But because my thing is, and it looks like based on the moves they're making, they're preparing for next year, because Tannehill does have 1 year left. If they don't do anything to his contract, he comes off the books next year. They don't do anything Derrick Henry, he come off the books next year. I think if the Kevin Byard contract, I don't know if it's next year or the year after, but we're supposed to have like buku's cap space next year. So I'm thinking that's the strategy they're taking, but not getting a veteran wide receiver doesn't match up with what they've done so far as well. So that's why I give them C+, but I need to see a little more on what they're going to do at wide receiver now and what they officially decide on Tannehill. It looks like he'll be back, but I feel like you still need to do something, restructure the contract, something. But I understand they're trying to keep money next year as well. So that's why I'm really in between C+. I just need them to make a decision, rebuild or go forward, however they're going to do it. But
Hey, Shark, do you think that Derrick Henry going to wear a Titans jersey at the beginning of the season?
I think so. I don't think he ain't getting cut, so it's going to be a trade if he go. But that's why I think he'll be back, because he gets paid $10 million this year, and this is a good draft for running backs as well. A lot of teams are probably going to choose to go cheaper, get good run, because this is a deep draft for running backs apparently, and you don't want to pay a running back $10 million. That's pretty much just a runner, like, pass catching is not his forte. You want like a more elusive running back. So, as I'm talking, I got to show the comments, so I got to go through all the comments to an AFC South. Mike says Z's is going to be nasty. Bronski is upgrade, definitely. Dillard is the wild card, corner for town. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Sean Buntley. He's really good. I did like that pick as well. So, like I said, I think we're pretty much staying even level, if that makes sense. And we ain't going up or down. Got rid of the counselors of the team, Todd Down and Dennis Staley. Yep. And he'll get the vet wide receiver. Yep. I think Brad saving money for D tackles. Jeffrey Simmons available. Herb Buckner. Who was Brad?
DeForest Buckner.
I'm trying to think what team he's referring to. Who's saving money?
I think we were talking about the Lions, wasn't he?
Probably so. I don't know. Jeffrey Simmons could be available. Our GM said he's working on extension for him, but
Yeah.
we also was working on extension for AJ Brown last year. That was a different GM, but anything can happen. So he could be available. He said Brad House, man. I'm like, yeah, he could be available.
Yeah, I think he was talking about his line.
Yeah. I maybe get Randall draft 10 that contract is the end of last year. He is going anywhere. Yeah, no, I figured it. Over 100 million, exactly. So that's why I assume they're getting ready for 2024. You get 100 million cap space next year, Brad out this year.
Because everybody you can do things with 100 million in cap space. Right. So yeah,
because everybody resigned just like a 1 year deal. 1 year, maybe a player option or a team option for the second year. So that's why it feels like they're doing. What Henry gives, in my opinion, if he wants to go. Yep, if he demand, he'll have to say he want out. So
would you rather your team sell or make the playoffs?
Honestly, sell, but they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do it because I want the quarterback. Because even 100 mil next year in cap space, what quarterback is available? It's Lamar Jackson situations gonna linger to next year. Will it be done this year? Like, what quarterback can we get $100 million? We still gonna get a quarterback in the draft. So, 100 million cap space is nice, but we still gonna need a quarterback in the draft. So I'd much rather sell. But the fan to me, I still want to see my team compete. So I like to say I'm fine with either option. But Trevor, you say you had trolling now?
I actually have two.
Hey,
we still have our intro, so let's get it.
Is you trolling? Is you trolling? Is you trolling? Is you trolling? Yeah, might be. Yeah, might be. Yeah, might be. Yeah, might be.
Man, it's been a while.
It's been a while since we had trolling now, ladies and gentlemen. And for you guys, I actually have two. So I'm just going to go ahead and just fire them off. So first one. As we prepare for the NFL draft, of course, all of the primetime schools are hosting their respective pro days and things of that nature. Strangely enough, a former MVP decided that he wanted to throw at his alma mater's pro day by the name of Cam Newton. So I'm just gonna come out troll and all. Cam Newton will start at least one game in the NFL next season.
Not a troll, depending on where he goes to. There's been rumors saying that he can go to the Rams, meaning he'll compete with Baker next year.
No, Baker's in Tampa.
You said my bad. I forgot who the Rams are. My bad, y'all.
Matt Stafford.
I thought they got somebody else in Stafford. Damn near on his way out, so he can start there. The Ravens are looking at him, so he can start there, especially if Lamar say screw y'all. And I was actually gonna bring up my troll and all, but I honestly can see him out here in Arizona. I manifested, my guy Kevin Durant coming out here. I think it's a little bit more left for me, God. I know I've been asking for a lot. You've been doing your damn thing. Thank you. But if I can get Cam Newton out here, that'll be great. And it'll help push Kyler Murray, to either play better or worse. So, but I do expect I would love to see Cam Newton start next year.
No. I'm not gonna let that slide. Did you just say thank you, God, for doing the damn thing?
Absolutely. That's me and God's relationship, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? He cussed me, I cuss at him. It is what it is.
Never mad at it, bro. God knows your strengths and your struggles, bro.
He knows my heart too.
I will say no, it's not a troll because I believe there is some team that is not going to have a good enough backup quarterback that they will have Cam Newton, that their starting quarterback will get hurt, and then will come in Cam Newton. Look at the 49ers. 49ers got depleted at quarterback this season, and they're only looking to get two quarterbacks actually to keep up this time. So I'm just going to say no, it's not. It's a very bold statement by Cam, but it was a true statement as well.
Yeah, it's a troll for me. I don't think no team is going to sign him to start, so he have to. Hey, you can do that all you want to. I don't care. He said, "Hey, what? I don't care." But it's enough for me.
You're gonna end up on the Titans. That's what you don't know.
Hey, I like him. Like I ain't saying this 'cause I don't like him. Like whatever. But yeah, like it's a troll for me. But I want to see him get opportunity. So, but it's true. I don't think he's not gonna get a starting opportunity. So it'll take him accepting the backup role first. Is he willing to accept the backup role? 1, 2. Somebody has to get hurt. Which I mean, like you said about the 49ers, it can happen. But I don't see him accepting the backup role because he definitely said they ain't 32 better than me, which means you're taking starter. And you're going to have to set the backup role in order to get back in the league, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's one of the main reasons why I went trolled as well when I first thought of this. Because if he's coming in for a backup role, and even with that, most of the backup roles is not really attractive like that. So unless he's willing to accept the backup role, I really don't see him back in the NFL or starting. There you go. Right. Hey, he can come to the showboats and get on the Johnny Manziel and actually.
Hey, Mariah, bro, me and you, bro, we're gonna have to. Hey, man.
He said, "You smell what the Rockets cooking right there." The XFL.
All right, so that was my first one. I'll roll with my second one as well. So for the second one, we got to go back a few years, back to Christmas Day of 2018. And Christmas Day of 2018, this was the last time that LeBron James and Kevin Durant shared a court together. LeBron James had just got to the Lakers. Kevin Durant was in his final season with the Warriors. And they haven't matched up since then. So troll and all, we will never see LeBron James versus Kevin Durant on a basketball court ever again.
Never say never. That's a hell of an observation, though. Damn, 2018. Well, that's
a long time.
Yeah. That's 5 years.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said never is such a strong word because Bron still got 2-3 years in him for sure. Katie does as well. I wouldn't say never, but damn, 5 years is kind of making it hard for me to say, trolling. So I'm gonna say you are trolling, but damn, 5 years is a long time.
Yeah, I'd say troll as well. That's a long time. That's almost shoot. I'm gonna say troll though. I just feel they both had a lot of injuries. that's why they shared the court together. A lot of player movement too. But with both of them being in the Western Conference now, for the time being, somebody's gonna be healthy enough. Because remember, they both are West and East. So only 2 games against each other. Very easy to miss both of them. 3 or 4 games against each other per season. I believe they'll end up playing against each other again at some point in time. Maybe in the playoffs this year. Who knows?
Yeah, because my Lakers are AC now.
Hour.
Y'all too.
My bad, Shitty. You're right. Y'all too.
Our Lakers are AFC right now.
Starkey chilling in the grindhouse right now.
Yeah, I will say that they will see each other. To the point that I was thinking about how they were. It's always been East-West or West-East. Now they're both in the West. It could be in this playoffs, yes. But I don't think the Lakers are going to stay pat and be a 7th or 8th seed. I think it'll be a 6th seed, and I think the Suns will be more of a 4 or 5 seed, which means if they see each other, they won't see each other till really the West Conference Finals.
Yeah,
I say this: the Lakers are a game and a half back from 5, and the Suns a half game back from 4. But a 4 or 5 matchup still not a possibility either.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Now, had you said the playoffs, now that would have been a little bit different. Now that would have been a real troll, especially like this year. But I think they'll see each other again.
Because
in
really
2 years.
Yeah, and I went no because just thinking about it and how injuries are starting to pile up for both players, and you guys are all right. They can definitely see each other in the playoffs. But just how things are looking, I was like, unless they match up first game of the season or they somehow match up in the playoffs, I really don't think we were going to see this matchup again. And then information changed a little bit on this guy, but I was right about Ben Simmons. So I just felt the need to throw that out there as well. So, but yeah, that was my 2 troll and all. So yeah.
Damn it. I don't know how you was able to call that Ben Simmons BS out like that. Because he injured, and I'm pretty sure he's not for the rest of the season. But next year, You got it, bro. Clairvoyant Trevor, you got it, bro.
No, see, too, me and you, what we need to do, we need to go on this crusade together and start getting on these people who wrote off Markelle Fultz.
Oh,
We tried to tell these people about Markelle Fultz that he was
yeah.
gonna be back, and now everybody was clowning him. But now that he's balling for the Magic right now, and the Magic are kind of on the upswing of things. Oh, Paulo for Roy, by the way, for those who don't know. Yeah, so we need to let these folks know about Markelle Fultz, bro.
Hey, stop playing on my dude, bro. He was a number one pick for a reason. He may have not shown it in the past, but it was based on potential, and damn it, he's showing it right now. Redraft, would he go number one? Probably not. But y'all better put some respect on my boy name, man. Stop playing with him. Let's go, Markelle.
I like Markelle Fultz. Ain't no he take properly out of it. Jason Tatum was in that draft.
Yeah. If you redraft that, you're not taking him.
He just needs to go to therapy, get his mental together, pray he gets that worked out and goes to therapy and takes it serious. Yeah, I think it's him. Lonzo Ball's career, sheesh, it just going down. I hate it.
Here's another thing about
Hey, shout out. I don't know who you are, but shout out to you.
Saturday Pro Football.
I agree with your name. I don't know.
I agree with everything you just said.
I mean, the South's gonna be the NFC South's gonna be wide open, I guess. But yeah, to your point about my LeBron KD troll and all, 2018, that was the last year Ben Simmons was an all-star. So let that sink in as well.
I think 2018 was the year, huh?
Oh, it's a we. Oh, so they Panthers fans.
Yeah.
They Panthers fans. Okay, all right. I still agree with the thing that we need more fans.
First of all,
co-tenders. So it's like chicken tenders, co-tenders. Got it.
First of all, I respect your name because we definitely need more pro football on a Saturday. Second of all, Sheedy, this is an AB conversation. C for Carolina, and we can see you later. 3, my guy, we gonna roll CJ, bro. We've been rolling. We've been liking CJ for the last couple months. You can tell by the body language when they visit him at his pro day, bro. Like CJ is our guy, man.
Hey, you sure this ain't no burner account of yours? Because you know your favorite guy is Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant.
You know this ain't no burner account, bro.
Steph Curry, one of them, since he a diehard Carolina fan.
Ryan, why did you say that about?
And on that note, we gotta close the show because Ryan doing too much.
Ryan been doing the most. I told y'all we should have blocked him from being able to come in.
No, we need
block Ryan Harris, Ryan.
Hey, he a consistent supporter, man. We ain't doing it. Oh boy, but man, shout out to everyone tuned in. My guy, Mike Patton, 2AFC South. Be sure to check out his show. He did a great women's history month, having black women on all throughout the month. So, man, definitely check out his show. YouTube, anywhere you get your podcast at, Touring the AFC South. Also, he got merch now, so get with him. DM him, follow him on Twitter, get with him on his Touring the AFC South shirts. As well, shout out to Darren from Fat Boy Fadeaway. Check them out, Fat Boy Fadeaway Sports. Friend of the show. We're friends of theirs, man. Him and Tyler do great work. Every Sunday morning, they have a live show. Check out C. Hen. He tuned in as well. The Fellas Presents Sports Route. Check out his show, The Fellas Presents Sports Route. Any podcasting platform. Definitely has good insight. He's from Detroit area, so Michigan talk. Definitely Big Ten area. He's going to give you everything you need to know and implementing the rap game with it as well. Also, shout out to Ryan Harris. We're not blocking him from anywhere. Doing the jump pass. Shout him out. The Jump Pass and Titan Upload Network. Check out my guy Ryan Harris as well. And also, new member came up. Need a lot more football. Need a lot more Saturday Pro Football.
Which I agree.
And appreciate you too. Appreciate you tuning in. And tuning in. Just came in. Shirts at $25 and he shipped them too. So definitely reach out to my guy.
We'll be doing business.
I need an NFC South shirt. I don't need no AFC. I don't even know no AFC teams.
Put Ryan's comment back up.
I see it.
Have y'all seen this phone? Exactly. You see. We're down here with it. We're down here with it. Got his phone here with it.
No problem, Mike, man. I always support it, bro.
Yeah.
But as well, shout out, like I said, shout out to comment. Shout out 3 the Hardaway. Like a crew right there. Sheedy. Telf, I think y'all back tomorrow, right? 1 o'clock Central. Live.
1 o'clock Central tomorrow?
Let's go,
Let-
Lakers.
Y'all back. Go Lakers, baby. AC.
Let's
And
go.
we gonna be 8.
Come on, ride the train. Ooh, and ride it. Lakers. Come on.
Yeah, catch them tomorrow. And of course, Starting Five Podcast or Bluff City Media. That's us. Check us out. We'll be out again this Monday talking Grizzlies. And also, as always, subscribe. Hit the notification button so you can get with us on YouTube at Let's Be Real Sports and follow us on any podcast platform if you prefer audio platforms, as we have that as well. And follow LBR Media at LBR_media on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Mainly TikTok is where we're coming from, and YouTube Shorts will be on YouTube page consistently, so you can always be tuned in. But as always, you can follow me on Twitter at @DAONE_P Shark.
Yep, I'm at the Art of Trevor, as you guys see. For those watching, of is a preposition. Yeah, I'll do it this time since it's not starting 5. I'll at least do it at least once. So yeah, I'm at the Art of Trevor.
Yeah, man. It's really shitty, man. Hey, why they got to end snowfall after this season, man? That hurts my heart.
You got to catch up. You don't know why. Catch up.
I gotta catch up too, man. But hey,
Yeah, I do as well.
definitely got to follow too. Hey, no, I'm gonna end up making one just to troll you. Just to troll you, trust me, because having a burner account honestly ain't a bad idea. I mean, I can go crazy. I go crazy with a burner account. I ain't gonna even lie.
Hey, shout out, man. I like this guy. Shout out, bro.
I like
Yeah, hey, I like him. I like him. Yeah.
We need you around more, man. Make sure you follow the squad, man. We need you around more.
I'll start another Cam Newton for the Memphis Showboat, starting QB. Let's go. Let's go.
All right. Y'all see our Twitter accounts below. We out.
We out, y'all. Peace.